more athletic than Lonzo or LaMelo Ball. He's not, bro. And to be real with you, I'm gonna tell you another thing. Luka came into this season out of shape. Luka does not look in condition. He does not look in shape. Just like I told you about PJ Washington. When guys been working, you could see. But Luka still gets to the bucket. And the reason why Luka gets to the bucket, because last night when I was watching him several times with Powell, when they come up the court, Powell is shielding him all the way up the court. It's almost like a running, moving screen. So whatever side the defender is on, Luka goes to the other side. By the time the defense gets in position, Luka either hits him with the 1-2 between the legs, step back three-pointer, or he makes a direct move to the basket because he knows he's going to get fouled, or at the worst, it's going to be a block shot. And if that fails, then he goes to the post-up game. Lonzo hasn't developed a post-up game. Lonzo doesn't have any wiggle in his game. He has no crossover. When the last time you heard about Lonzo crossing somebody over against the rack?
Since Chino Hills.
This is a point guard we talking about. This is a point guard we talking about. And a lot of times when he goes to the rack, Lonzo doesn't even explode going to the rack. It's like he goes to the rack. I'm not talking about his speed, because his speed is there. I'm talking about playing above the rim. He's not going to the rack to dunk on anybody. A lot of times he goes in there like he's waiting to get it blocked. He's 6'6", laying the ball up. There's no up and under action. There's no using the rim as protection. It's like, okay, they told me to drive to the basket, so I'm driving to the basket. But there's no basketball IQ in these moves, man. So, no. I don't want to seem like I don't support the brother, because I do. But I was cautious that first game because I was thinking, okay, what happens when these threes are not falling? The free throw shot, he does a lot of awkward things in the free throw shot that makes me question, will he ever be a great free throw shooter? And he does not get to the bucket enough and finish enough. He does not have enough transition buckets. And because I'm looking at it as a guard, and I'm saying, if you don't have those easy buckets, if you don't have those floaters, if your three is not falling, and you can't get to the rack, how are you going to score? So I already in my mind, DJ, was saying, man, it's going to be a tough year for him potentially. But what do you think about the coaching of Stan Van Gundy? Because you were kind of defending BI yesterday, and you were saying you can't blame BI. What do you feel about Lonzo having to deal with that style, though, for 3 years? He's never really been on a team where he's been the main ball handler. Do you think it's up to him?
It's kind of a mixture, let's be honest. But the part where I was saying I don't blame BI was taking advantage of what the defense was giving him and giving the team. See, when you put a smaller defender on BI, what did he do? Attack the basket. He didn't settle on jumpers.
Right.
But I agree on the part where you talk about the style. The style is not conclusive to Lonzo. Yes, we have talked about what Lonzo needs to improve on. He needs to rectify being more creative. That is true. But at the same time, the offense is not conclusive to him. They don't run enough screens for Lonzo. They don't respect their point guard.
No.
See, you respect your point guard when you give the ball back to him. Just because he gives you the ball, he wants you to swing the ball back so you could get a better look. Instead of just you give the ball to him and you force some shots. They were looking like, and I know the game wasn't a serious blowout, but they were looking like last year's Pelicans last night. Horrible ball movement. You see the first game when they stole that game and they beat a good Toronto Raptors team. That was because of good ball movement.
Mm.
See, when Lonzo is involved more, they have an above 500 record. That is a fact.
Thanks.
I'm not making this up.
Thanks.
So what Lonzo has to do to fix what's going on, what he has to do is he has to be that dog. He got to search in deep inside of his soul. And you got to call some, I don't care if they're your friends. You say, hey, get the damn ball back to me. I'm not cussing at you to embarrass you. I'm just telling you what's the real. Give me the damn ball. And I'm passing you the ball anyway, so give me the ball back.
Right.
Or just keep the damn ball and do something.
Right.
Like the lanes are so open at the mid-range level, you can't tell me he can't just attack that lane. He doesn't even have to go to the basket necessarily. He could shoot a mid-range, mix it up. Stop just like he's like, okay, I'm just going to shoot threes all night because they just giving me the three. That doesn't work that way. Shit, they gave Rondo the three. He's not gonna just take the three all the time. What he does, he said, okay, that mid level is open, floater, mid range, attack. You're 6'6". I think he's 215 right now. He's bigger in muscle. Yeah, he's very solid in muscle. So you got to take it to the hole. And I saw a tweet, man, and this was talking about what you said yesterday about them pitting brothers against each other. This is this is my boy though. I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he did make the tweet. He said, LaMelo Ball played basketball today. Keep that same energy y'all had last game with Lonzo.
What is he saying about that?
So he roots for Lonzo more than LaMelo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he takes jazz at LaMelo. He's cool, man. It is what it is. But I'm just keeping it real that.
Oh man, I'm so glad you brought this up. Go ahead.
What LaMelo's situation, man, I did my homework, brother. Tell me if I'm lying. It's starting out worse than Lonzo. See, when he was with the Lakers, Lonzo was with the Lakers, he would at least he would start and play 20 plus minutes a game. Am I wrong?
100%. 100% right.
LaMelo Ball plays 15 minutes per game. He's playing off ball. He's not an off ball player. Right. Matter of fact, Lonzo plays off ball better than LaMelo. We know Lonzo's not an off ball player as well, but he could play off ball better than LaMelo. That's not LaMelo's game at all. The scouting report says that. So if your coach is doing that, and you're the number 3 overall player, he's not even giving up 20 plus minutes a game. It got so bad. I was hoping for James Borrego, please give him 25 minutes a game at least. It shouldn't have to come to that, but here we are. And I hate when certain fans do that. They act like we don't want Lonzo to do well. Of course we want Lonzo to do well. Absolutely. But he got to want to do well as well. We can't keep making excuses. He's been in the league for 4 years.
4 years.
LaMelo's a rookie.
Right.
So we're going to judge him like a rookie. You want us to judge him like a 4-year player? That's not fair.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, look, if we're going to keep this a buck, I'm so glad you brought this up because I forgot to even broach this topic, man. Look, man. Look, man, y'all ready for some breaking news? Y'all ready to get really mad? And I'm saying this, DJ ain't saying this. This is me saying this. Look, man, if Lonzo would have played, Bella, G3 would be in the league.
Oh, man.
If Lonzo would have played better, Melo probably be the number 1 draft pick. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck. Oh, man, that's cap. How can you say that? That's an ignorant statement. Blake Griffin's brother was in the league, bro. Did y'all know that? J.R. Smith's brother was in the league, bro. Did y'all know that? Steph Curry got an opportunity based off Steph Curry. Like, this is like it's a favor for a favor. This is known. Why do y'all think all those Antetokounmpos are in the league? Do y'all really think they can play? Do y'all think the older brother that's on the Bucks, that's damn near 29, about to be 30, you think he really needs to be on that rotation? Or is it because his brother is a star player and the team wants to make sure that the brother is happy? Wants to make sure they have incentives to keep Giannis. Do y'all think if Lonzo would have balled out like a number 1 pick that Jello wouldn't have been on the Lakers? That's why they gave him a tryout to begin with. That's why they gave Jello a tryout to begin with. So a lot of y'all to be up here talking like that's a baseless argument. I would never bring up Melo's failures as a player, especially in his rookie year, and then try to defend Lonzo. The reason why the family is in the situation it's in, I'm going to just tell y'all the 100% real. I don't know how else to say it, man. And I haven't heard nobody else say it in the community, so I'm going to just go ahead and throw it out there, man. Reason why, yes, it was some bad business deals. Yes, it was some bad decisions made. If Lonzo would have went out there and balled like a number 2 pick, Melo's probably not with Puma. I'm just telling y'all the facts. He's probably still on the Lakers. He probably got a ring. And they would have sent Kuzma instead of him. Because it's obvious that LeBron has more of a relationship with Lonzo than Kuzma. You know what I'm saying? Via the clutch sports, via every time you see them linking up, like they're together. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron really does love Lonzo. I believe that. And that's why you had him on the shop. So all of this talk about Melo's failures, man, you know how many times I watched the draft analysis and they was talking about Melo and they were saying, well, hopefully he doesn't shoot like his brother Lonzo. Or hopefully he doesn't have the inconsistencies of his brother Lonzo. So that's an argument. If you're an intelligent person, you should never bring up because that's not going to end well. You know what I mean? And if you need a comparison to this, to think that so you'll know that I'm not making this up, Derek Carr. When Derek Carr came into the NFL, he spent his first 2 years, even though his rookie season was a great rookie season, he spent his first 2 years trying to get out of his brother's shadow, who was the quarterback in Houston, who ended up being a bust. They were comparing him to his brother before he even stepped on the field. So that's what Melo was dealing with. A lot of times you look on Twitter and you see, oh, he can't shoot just like his brother. Or he's going to be an average player just like his brother. So y'all need to drop that argument. We need to focus on Lonzo individually, focus on Jello individually, and focus on the Melo individually. They're all different players. They all got different games. Also, if we keeping it even more real, Lonzo came into an organization that believed in him. Lonzo came into an organization where Magic Johnson was the president at the time and said this man's number is going to be hanging in the rafters as a Hall of Famer one day. That's what he said. That's what Magic Johnson said. Now look at that GM or look at that president of operations verbiage about Lonzo versus what Melo came in with. Melo comes in, Mitch Kupchak. He's got to earn every minute of playing time. Nothing's going to be given to him. So these are two totally different situations. One is playing for the historic and prestigious Los Angeles Lakers. They were never going to stay at the bottom. If they have to spend $1 billion to get a championship, the Lakers going to spend $1 billion. Melo is playing for the Charlotte Hornets, y'all. Charlotte Hornets ain't never won nothing, never in the history of nothing. Come on, man. And this man coming off the bench, Lonzo came in. He was a summer league MVP. Magic was pushing him up. He was ready to make him the face of the Lakers. LaMelo, because of unfair biases, doesn't even get to be the face of the Hornets. So those are ignorant statements. And as an older brother, being the lead, I'm not saying everything Melo does is on him because that's not fair because Lonzo got his own career. But we got to call it like we see it. A lot of these biases and a lot of these problems that Melo has been dealing with before even ever taking a shot in the league has been based off Lonzo Ball and, unfortunately, the hate that they have for LeVar Ball. What do you think about that, brother? I know that's controversial.
No, that's just real. You know, I don't mind it. You know, I don't have to do YouTube, but I do it because I want to speak my truth and I want to speak the truth like everybody else feel. And if Lonzo Ball would have played his part, we can't sugarcoat this. I gotta say it. Yes, we know Luke Walton was. Let me say this before there's any excuses. Yes, Luke Walton was a horrible coach.
Boom.
Yes, there was no shooters around Lonzo.
Facts.
But what was his problem coming in? Shooting. He got that fixed in a way.
Yeah.
Attacking the basket. And not being assertive enough.
Right.
Those three things, if they were fixed, he would have been a first team all rookie. You never know, rookie of the year.
Right, facts.
And the stigma wouldn't have been on Jello. It wouldn't have been on LaMelo.
Yep.
You got people making fun of LaMelo talking about he Lonzo 2.0.
Yep, facts. It's everywhere on Twitter.
They making fun of him. And you know what ticked me off? I'm not going to say this dude's name because, he pissed me off enough. I'm not going to give him no clout, but he's supposedly a fan of the Ball family, but more of a fan of Lonzo. He said this, end quote, "It took longer than I expected, but Lonzo has arrived, and I am happy to see it." Now, this is the first game, but he had 16 points. He also said LaMelo will get there also. That 0-point game was just karma for all the people that said LaMelo never do what Lonzo did. Lonzo was feeling it from three. So he's going to prop Lonzo up and diss LaMelo. This is the bullshit I'm talking about. This is the buffoonery I am talking about. But they're thinking I'm putting Lonzo down. I'm rooting for Lonzo.
Facts.
Why do I keep saying I hope he takes it to the basket in this game? I hope. I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't hope for anything. Lonzo should do rather his fans to hope.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It's not about rooting against LaMelo or rooting against Lonzo. It's about being fair. It's about being practical. For anybody that's saying this is karma for Lonzo, I mean, it's karma for LaMelo for saying he had never had that happen, or the supporters saying he had never had that happen. Lonzo did not play 15 minutes his first game. Lonzo played 25 plus minutes his first game and allowed Patrick Beverly to punk him out on national TV. That's what happened, man. That's what. Look, if y'all want to do this, we can do this. Let's just say what it is. Melo has not played 25 plus minutes yet. He's not played 25 plus minutes yet. You know what I'm saying? If Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham would have been on the Lakers and Magic Johnson was the GM of the Lakers or the president of the Lakers and Rob Pelinka was the GM, them dudes would have been on the bench when Lonzo came. How much belief Magic Johnson had in Lonzo Ball. But Melo is in an organization, they don't really believe in him. And one of the reasons they don't really believe in him, one, the father already has a history with Jordan. So they look at the children as spoiled kids that are just getting by on their social media accolades and credit, which is hypocritical because I just watched Mark Cuban on First Take yesterday talk about the reason why Giannis is so big because he has a big presence on social media. So it's not necessarily about his game, and most owners are looking for guys with social media presence. Well, if that's the truth, then all three of the Ball brothers should be in the NBA. But I digress. The second point is they don't believe in him, partially because of Lonzo. And that's why everyone who keeps selling this dream, talking about Lonzo and LaMelo playing on the same team, somebody would have to increase their shooting to around 40%. And not just their shooting, their scoring would have to go up to at least 18 points a game to justify that. Because the way these two brothers are playing right now, and I'm not judging Melo really because I don't know what Melo is right now. I know he could be damaged permanently. I've seen it happen to great players before. But right now, I don't know what he is. So with that being said, what sense does it make? And this is what I'm saying. And this is how sometimes the community gets called stands and gets put into these demographics. Because it's like, are people just saying stuff to say it because they want to keep fans or they want to keep supporters? Or are they trying to speak the truth? And that's once again why I rock with you. DJ's raw, uncut truth. What sense does it make for a basketball team to pay Lonzo an X amount of dollars and have Melo on the court and neither one of them are shooting efficiently from outside? Where are your points going to come from in the backcourt? Where? If Lonzo is hiding in the corner, where are your points going to come from? Melo's confidence, and I'm not saying it is, but let's say potentially in a year or so, his confidence is shot. Why would I want two guards on the wing, in the backcourt that can't shoot the ball, can't get to the rack? So once again, it just sounds like fanboyism, and people, they disregard a lot of these channels in the community, and this is no offense to anyone, I'm not calling anyone out, but they disregard it because they feel like people are not being objective. Anybody that's saying DJ is being hard on Lonzo, the brother's not being hard. He's just being objective. We're being objective. We want to see Lonzo do good. Even though it's a different style from what I like, I know Lonzo can be an all-star. It's an easy way. DJ, he's not even attacking the glass like that.
other night on the game on Christmas, the Pelicans got to find a second unit that works
Mm.
because they took Bi and Lonzo off the court and they didn't score for a while. Um, I think I think Lonzo is gonna have the year that everybody thinks he can have. There's no hesitation in his pull-up jumper. He's driving, being assertive. Uh, I think the hardest thing is gonna be Zion at the top of the key. Yeah, he's getting foul calls, but he isn't looking to pass that ball at all once he's going to the lane. And, and I mean, and there's not anything wrong with that because I think he went to the free throw line like what 13 times last night or something like that.
Damn.
Might have been. I could be. It could have been less than that, but I think he went to the free throw line a lot last night. Um, for him to score 30, he had to go there a lot. So,
Hey, Saint, this is one thing I kind of disagree. Not kind of, really disagree. Lonzo did that the first game, but he didn't do that the second game, being assertive and attacking the basket. Matter of fact, he only took nothing but 3-point attempts. And me and my brother Revolution Radio, we agreed on this one fact that Lonzo has to be more vocal. He has to tell his teammates, hey, I got the ball. I'm the point guard. There's too many non-point guards on this team dribbling the ball like they're the Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, the shit's annoying. I wish just, we want Lonzo to do what we want to do, of course, as fans. We want him to be that dog. But he has to soul search and be that dog. We can't just say it. It's bigger than that, man. He has to take over.
well, I mean, I think he has to. I think what it really is you have to remember, Bi is their most solid player on the whole team. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as scoring wise, and Bi had it going. You know what I'm saying? Like he did. Bi was going to work. So it's hard to just say, okay, Lonzo, take over. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you ask me what I think is really missing from the Pelicans, and not just Lonzo, I think they have to figure out that pick and roll situation with Adams. You know what I'm saying? Because he can score so much more, but when you got the ball in Zion, Bi's hands, I think JJ didn't play as well as we like him to play. I think Bledsoe, it was a lot of careless plays on his end. So I think Zoe is there.
Brother, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta disagree with you, man. And really, the more I hear these arguments for Zoe, the more I know that Zoe is about to get traded or he's signing an extension elsewhere. Because if what you're saying is true, if Brandon Ingram is going to be the person that brings the ball to the court, mark my words, first off, the Pelicans will never win anything. That's one. Because that style is not conducive to today's NBA. And you're right, Ingram does have moments where he got it going. But he also has moments like in the fourth where he don't. You know what I mean? And the offense is stagnant. And the other option is Zion putting his head to the basket, putting his head down, getting to the basket, and trying to score. But he's not conditioned, so in the fourth quarter, he started losing the ball. He started missing a lot of shots. If Lonzo is going to be Derek Fisher, Lonzo is gone. Yeah, like it's time to face the music. Look, on draft night, they drafted Kieran Lewis for a reason, man. There's no coincidence of them not being able to agree on an extension. The Pelicans are not really trying to agree on an extension. If they wanted to extend Lonzo, they would have offered him a bag big enough to extend him. But what it is like we just got to call it what it is. Lonzo's passiveness has allowed Brandon Ingram to take the playmaker spot. And there's no role on any team in America for Lonzo if he's not going to be a playmaker. Because he's not going to be a spot-up shooter. That's just even if he's shooting the ball at 40%, you are not getting the most out of Lonzo Ball if he's a spot-up shooter. He's too young in his career. He's not 35 years old. He's in his early 20s. He's not a come-off-the-screen shooter right now. You know what I mean? So with this being said, man, you know what I'm saying? With this being said, man, it's like I don't know, man. Like I'm with DJ, the lack of aggression, and maybe now DJ, from what the brother's saying, maybe now that's just the system. They look at it like, hey, BI is the guy. BI is gonna initiate the offense. BI is gonna bring the ball up. That's why the first game BI had so many assists and rebounds. Because like I said, I saw several times where Lonzo could have got a rebound. He's about to jump, and BI jumping to get that rebound. So okay, you're not rebounding. Your assist numbers are fluctuating because you barely touched the ball. Why would the Pelicans play Lonzo again? Like, honestly, y'all, like, I'm just being real. Why would they keep him, and why would they pay him to sit in the corner 6 times straight down the court? So I think what DJ is trying to say is, in order for Lonzo to get the most out of his career and to get that bag, he's going to have to break the system, and he's going to have to break those habits. As far as Eric Bledsoe been that way since he came in the league. He'll give you 20 one night, he'll give you 5 the next. And in the playoffs, you don't see him because teams start to game plan for players, and they know he can't shoot, so they just pack the paint. And he's not as athletic as he used to be, so he really can't hurt you. He's not really going to take you off the dribble as much as he used to. So, yeah, man, I don't think this bodes well for Lonzo. I think you're gonna see games where he shoots the ball good. Then you're going to see games where Brandon Ingram is initiating the offense, and Lonzo's barely going to touch the ball. And that's going to lead to the inconsistencies that DJ is talking about. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that the assertive button continues to push in Lonzo's mind, and when he gets the ball, he starts going to the rack like he did the first game a little bit. But if not, man, I'm not going to lie. I hate to sound like the pessimist, but I feel like the writing was on the wall when they drafted Kyrie Lewis in the first round.
I mean, teams are always gonna draft players. I don't think the writing was on the wall. You also got to remember, you got to look at the salary cap. So the Pelicans only had 13 mil to actually offer Lonzo before they hit the luxury cap. So that was the problem this year. That's why he didn't get an extension. People aren't talking about the real things of what happened behind him not getting extended. You have to remember, BI just signed his extension. You also have to look at how much Adams is getting paid. You have to look at how much Bledsoe is getting paid. Those things have to come into a fact about the situation. That's why he didn't get a big extension. It had nothing to do with them not finding the money. It's just no team is going to go over the luxury cap, but everybody else is going to make it be whatever they want to make it be to create whatever narrative. Here's the thing: Stan Van Gundy and LeVar has talked about it on many occasions. You have to talk to Lonzo. You can't be this nice, coy, oh, hey, Lonzo, we want you to do this, we want you to do that type of person. So Stan Van Gundy is exactly what Lonzo needs, because he's an in-your-face type of coach. He's going to tell you what you're doing wrong, and he's going to hold you accountable. Here's the thing. That Pelicans game, I watched it, and I was just like, okay, they're playing. They were playing really good, but you can't let Duncan Robinson hit 7 threes and think that you're gonna win. It's just not gonna happen. I think what we have to do as fans, as people who love the game, we have to take a step back and be like, it's game 2 of the NBA season, right? It's game 2. We have seen more from him this time around, ending last year before the bubble, and then right now, we've seen a click happen. I'm on record saying year 5 is his year. I've always said that. I've always said year 5 is his year. Right now he's in year 4 and he's figuring it out. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm not gonna say that he's taking a step back. I just think he evaluates the game as it's being played, and a lot of people can't do that. For example, look at Bledsoe. He was forcing stuff. He was fouling people. It was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why would you make that foul when the game is almost in reach? Like, why?
I gotta say real quick, brother. I gotta say real quick. If they want you, they're gonna pay you. That's just it. That's just it. And they're not gonna draft you a replacement when it's time for contract talks. If they want you, they're gonna pay you, man. I mean, and we'll see at the end of the year. If he stays with the Pelicans, he's gonna take a lot less money. I'm telling you that. They're not gonna offer him a lot of money if this continues on. And I don't think that we're looking at 2 games into the regular season. Bro, I've been supporting Lonzo since UCLA. Like, I've rocked with Lonzo. Like I said, I'm a Lakers guy, so I watch every Lakers game that Lonzo ever played. You know what I'm saying? I watched every Pelicans game that I could watch last year. The thing that's starting to disturb me about Lonzo, and I hope this isn't happening in his inner circle, it's too many. You got to have too much for things to go right with Lonzo. And right now, as far as production, he's not proven that he is warranted all of that. Oh, well, he needs a training camp. Oh, he's never had a training camp. Oh, you gotta have the type of coach. Man, it's too many things. Bro, is you a dog or you not a dog? Are you the point guard or you not the point guard? Like all of these things they got to go right for this cat to be productive. That's not gonna be the situation all the time. It has to be a self-motivating factor within Lonzo. And this is what I've been asking people for the longest. Does Lonzo like playing ball? Does he love playing ball? Or does he play ball because his last name is Ball? I'm telling you, looking at this Pelican situation, you tell me, like one of the brothers said in DJ's chat, in a small market, why in the hell would you pay a third right beneath max contract for Lonzo when you got to pay Zion coming up and you're going to lose him like you lost AD? You just paid BI, and you got these young guards that you just drafted back-to-back 2 years consecutively right after Lonzo. After you got Lonzo, you got Alexander and you got Kyrian Lewis. You ain't got to pay them for a while. So why in the hell would you pay for a guy that you got to have everything got to go right in order for him to succeed, but his production does not merit all of the things that got to go right? And this is what I'm saying. At some point, we got to take a step back. I love Melo, but if Melo doesn't produce by year 3, Melo going to be out of there. I got to call it for what it is. And I just feel like we're in a crucial moment where not just as fans, as people who watch basketball, some of us play basketball, some of us analyze basketball. After a while, we got to say, year 5, Lonzo may not make it to year 5. Lonzo might have to go to a team that is a contender as a role player. That is a possibility. Because I was looking at the situation with the Lakers and was hoping that, okay, he can get back to my Lakers. But with the way Dennis Schroeder is playing, if they extend Dennis Schroeder, would he coming back to be on the bench? You know, so it's like the only way I see him getting back to LA now is if Schroeder can't agree with the money with the Lakers. Then Lonzo's a cheaper option at the end of the season. I was also hoping that he would go to the Clippers, but it's time. Look, forget all this. What kind of coach you need? Forget a training camp. Forget all of that. Right now, Lonzo, it's a contract year. Every player in basketball, football, baseball knows on a contract year, you ball out. And if Lonzo don't ball out, it don't matter what he need. The NBA is not concerned with what he needs. They already want this family to fail. So it's not like Lonzo's going to get a lot of opportunities. So Lonzo, like DJ says, every game has to be aggressive. Even if he's missing the shots. You don't shoot to the point where your percentage is trash and you look like a ball hog, but you do assert yourself and make yourself a presence on the court. It's too many times offensively where Lonzo is not a presence. And when I say not a presence, he doesn't even touch the ball. There's no excuse for that. It should never be 6 times down the court where Lonzo don't even touch the ball. Because to me, that shows me what his teammates think about him. What you think about that, DJ? Yeah, the brother might have stepped away, but yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the Pelicans don't end up being the spot for him, but I just think it's time for him to put up. He got to put up some numbers and he got to make his presence felt. What you think, bro?
I mean, I agree. I've said it. Like you can check my Twitter. You can check. I've always said this. I said Lonzo got to average anywhere between like 17 and 20 points for the year to get paid. I've said this. I said it. I broke it down. I said he got to hit like 3 threes. He got to get to the free throw line 4 to 6 times. You know what I'm saying? Get 2 dunks. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple pull-up jumpers, and he's there. You know what I'm saying? So really and truthfully, he could score 17 shooting 10 shots, being efficient. And that's just me being logical for the player that he is. You know what I'm saying? If you're thinking you're going to get a 30, 40 point game from him, you're not going to get that. Like, what his high is 29, I think, and that was in his second game in the NBA ever. So, I think if he wants to, I think he could average anywhere between 17 and 24. That's what I believe he could average. As far as assists, here's my thing with assists. People forget how assists work. The person has to hit the shot in order for you to get the assist. So it's not that he's not making the right pass or making the right play. The person is missing the shot. Like, for example, take Zion. What do they say? Oh, he has a great second jump. So a lot of the times he'll get the ball, miss the shot. There goes the assist that's gone. He'll make the next one, but the assist is gone. You know what I'm saying? So that assist is taken off the board. So you're gonna get that hockey pass with Lonzo. It's gonna be a hockey assist because the ball has synergy. He makes the right play, the next person makes the right play, they find the open person. So it's not that he's not doing those things, because he is. I think yesterday what you also have to look at is they were giving Gordon Dragic a lot of foul calls. So when you say you want Lonzo to be assertive on the other end, he wasn't able to be that, because he picked up 2 just guarding Gordon, and it's like, bro, he pushing me just as much as I'm pushing him, and y'all are not giving me the same call. Now, granted, he isn't getting those calls because he hasn't been assertive in his beginning years. So those refs are like, bro, you ain't finna go to the free throw line and you ain't finna shoot that anyway. So what difference do it matter? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with you. It's a put up or shut up year. But I think all players have the things that make them go and that make them work and that make them good. I don't think it's he doesn't want to play ball. I don't think it's that. I think he's in a better headspace because, people forget basketball is mental also. It's not just physical, but I think he's in a better headspace. You know what I'm saying? He back with the mother of his child. They have a better relationship. You can see that's going good for him. Like I said, the Pelicans, they don't have the money to pay him. Like you said, you brought it up. They have to pay Zion. They have a couple other things going, so they can't just say, "Hey, Lonzo, we can pay you." Right now, with the Pelicans, like I was saying, 13 mil is really the max that they can offer him right now without going over the luxury tax. I think if I calculate it right, it's anywhere between 13 and 14. But I know he's looking at 18 or 19, maybe even 20. But yeah, he's not gonna get that in New Orleans unless he just has like something drastic, and it's like, okay, this boy is really doing what we need him to do. We have to figure out this contract. We have to, and like I said, I mean, players. The NBA is gonna draft players because that's what it is, man. Like people get hurt, it's part of the thing. People get moved, and you're right. Yeah, you can pay those other rookies, pennies on the dollar. But as a sports fan, I think we do have to take a step back and look at the maturation process. We don't do that enough. Like I said, I brought up Gary Payton the other day. I said he played 3-4 years college ball, and then it took him 3 years in the NBA to find out what kind of player he was. He's even on record saying this about Lonzo. Lonzo doesn't need to become a shooter. He needs to become a scorer. So we all agree on that. He has to learn how to score, whether it's getting to the basket or whatever shots he's going to take. Because, yeah, you're right. He can't sit back and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be a 3-point marksman and I'm going to take 10 threes a game. No, I don't want to see that from him either. So we agree on that. I don't want to see him take 10 threes at all. I want to see him make winning plays, play good basketball, and get paid.
See what's happening to Lonzo now when it comes to that 3-point shot is he's not being able to just shoot a set shot anymore because teams are not laying off of him. So a lot of the shots you saw yesterday in the second half, he was drifting because he was having to move. Okay, so it's cool. You learn how to shoot. You learn how to shoot the set shot. You've corrected your shot, quote unquote. And I don't really want to get into the argument about shot mechanics because that shit is overblown. Sam Perkins' shot was ugly as hell. Kevin Martin's shot was ugly as hell. Sean Marion's shot is ugly as hell. All of this is analytics so white boys can sneak their way back into the game. Look, if the shot wet is wet. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at Kevin Durant's shot, it comes from the opposite side of his body. Then he straightens it up when he gets in the air. But I'm going to leave that where it is. With that being said, though, now Lonzo is having to shoot off of the screen. He's having to shoot on the move. So, okay, you learn how to shoot a set shot, but now if you're going to be a shooter, you got to learn how to shoot off screens. You got to learn how to shoot off backs, cuts, flare screens, and all of this. It's a whole nother game. So that's not going to happen right now because the shot looked good, so I don't know where it could go. With that being said, the real reason why his assist numbers are down is not the hockey assists. Because if you look, Brandon Ingram's assists are up. The reason why his assist numbers are down is because they're phasing him out of the offense. They're making him a 3-and-D player. And Brandon Ingram is becoming the primary ball handler and distributor on the court. If that happens, Lonzo will not be a Pelican after the trade deadline. Unless they're so far above 500, they don't want to kill chemistry. He will not be there. That's why he doesn't have the assist numbers, because he never has the ball, bro. Lonzo never has the ball. I'm really struggling to think of a starter who is not a big man that you can come up and down the court 6 times and he don't touch the ball. Like, this is unheard of. Like, I've never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? Even Tony Allen touched the ball. Lonzo don't even touch the ball, so it's hard to get assists, like you said, when the one time you passing, the guy got to hit the shot because that's the only chance you got for an assist, and the next 10 times down the court, you're not going to touch the ball. As far as the Pelicans drafting players, yeah, they always draft players. But you only double up in positions when you're getting ready to let somebody walk. And what they got coming in is George Hill. When Alexander gets healthy, he'll be back in the lineup. And if I'm the Pelicans, and I don't want to pay Lonzo, and Lonzo's job is to really be in the corner and hit a spot up 3, or you want him to develop into a scorer, and you got this kid Alexander who already shoots every shot that he get a chance, and he'll get to the rack, and you're making Ingram the primary playmaker, the writing is on the wall. And if you need to develop a point guard, you got Kieran Lewis on the bench. And for the holdover minutes, for the spot up shooters, once George Hill is back, you're going to see George Hill play off ball of Brandon Ingram because everywhere he goes, that's what George Hill does. I'm telling you, man, look, I understand your analysis, and I do understand what you're saying about developing. That's not the league we in anymore. The Gary Payton League, the Let Players Develop League. It is an Instagram league. It is an instant gratification league. What have you done for me lately? Your team can lose by 40. If you score 20, and if you have an impact statistically, you got a job in this league. If you don't do that, it's going to be tough for you. But then again, I mean, Lonzo can find himself if this does not work out, and I'm not saying it's not, because like you said, it is game 2. The brother could come back and just ball out for the rest of the time. But if that doesn't happen, my hope then is that he gets traded to a contender, because still at this point right now, Lonzo fits perfectly with the Clippers. And I'm not a Clippers fan at all. I'm a Lakers fan at heart. But just looking at basketball, he fits perfectly. If he doesn't want to shoot, all his job would be is to set the table for Kawhi and set the table for Paul George. And that way they can make Patrick Beverly more just a defensive guy and have Lonzo running the offense. I think that's probably the best situation for him to succeed long term, because it really does seem like between Zion and Ingram and their usage rates and Ingram getting the ball off the backboard and running the offense, it really seems like Lonzo's being faded out.
I definitely agree with you on the Clippers situation. I said that too. I said that is a great situation for him. As far as George Hill, I want to say George Hill got included in the trade for Adams. So I'm not sure that he's even there no more. I can't remember, but I think last time I checked, he was included in that trade for Adams. So it's not really worrying about George Hill either. But I get your sentiment with all of the people that are there that can play. Yeah, we agree on that. I would like to see him with the Clippers if the Pelicans don't work out. I think that's a perfect storm for him, bro. Like, seriously, because he definitely makes it easier for Kawhi and Paul George to work, because right now they can leave Patrick Beverly wide open and he ain't gonna hit that thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you got to guard Lonzo now at the 3, I mean, yeah, now you like, okay, we got a different dynamic. So yeah, we agree on that.
Well, an article came out this summer saying that Kawhi wanted, he wanted Lonzo to run the point for the Clippers. They wanted a natural point guard that could set the table. But see, LeBron and Clutch Sports is always thinking 3 steps ahead. They knew that was a possibility. They know Lonzo wants to get back to L.A. I don't see Rich Paul. I don't see Rich Paul setting up a deal with the Clippers for Lonzo. No way in hell. That's why Marcus Morris, he ended up firing Rich Paul, because situation with the Knicks where he was going to go to the Clippers, but he ended up having to go to the Spurs because something that was going on with Rich Paul. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I don't see that happening unless it happens via trade. And even then, it's going to be difficult. But man, if you put, let's talk about the positive shit. If Lonzo was on the Clippers are a legitimate contender, because defensively they are going to be out of this world. You're going to go 6'6" at the point guard position. You're going to go 6'7" at the shooting guard position. And you're going to have Paul George 6'7", 6'8" at the small forward. You got Zubac back there at center. You really can just throw Patrick Beverly out there for defense. That's a beautiful lineup, bro. Like, so everything, all is not lost. Lonzo is just finding his role in the league. And if you put him on a team like that, it's going to make all the shots that he hits right now so much bigger. Because like you said, Patrick Beverly can't really knock that down. It's going to give Lonzo his confidence. He's going to have a role on the team. He's going to have a role that he can understand. He doesn't really have to worry about Kawhi bringing the ball up the court. He doesn't really have to worry about Paul George bringing the ball up the court, because they just want to get to their spots. They want to ISO. And Lonzo can set that up for him. So, man, as much as I like to see this young team, the Pelicans, really take off, based off what I'm seeing with their offense, they're not beating nobody in the playoffs with Brandon Ingram getting the ball off the rack, dribbling for 21 seconds, and shooting the ball. That's not going nowhere. And Zion Williamson burrowing his head down and going to the basket. What it seems like their ownership is paying. They're paying for youthful, exciting 8th seed, 7th seed basketball. Just enough to tie their fans over. That's it. It doesn't seem like they're really serious in winning.
But didn't I think it was Mark Cuban. I want to say it was Mark Cuban. He might have been one of the owners, or it could have been somebody else. There are teams that just want to be teams, and then there's teams that want to win championships, or they will do whatever it takes to make sure that they have a winning team. And you're right. And sometimes it looks like exactly what you said. Like, bro, we gonna stay at the 7 and 8 seed, make the playoffs, and be happy with that. Like, we ain't never gonna win, but we just gonna be happy with, we made the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what the Pelicans are right now, brother, and that's what I'm saying. I know they don't want to pay Lonzo, even though I do think Stan Van Gundy sees the potential in Lonzo. I do think he sees that, so I'm not capping about that. I think he sees that, but I just look at the reaction. Lonzo has never really gotten out the shadow of what he was with the Lakers, and people treat him missing shots like the worst thing on the planet. When you look at all the top superstars yesterday, short of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Kyrie Irving, they were the most efficient scorers. And AD was pretty efficient, but they were the most efficient scorers as far as stars. Everyone else had, 9 for 19 games, but Lonzo and LaMelo, they missed 3 or 4 shots because of the stigma. The coach narratives are huge, man. So it's already in the coach's mind, okay, they're not hitting shots. And just right now, looking at Lonzo, I'm not just talking about defensively, because defensively he did a lot of good things. It's just the Pelicans' defense as a whole is trash because Brandon Ingram is not trying to D nobody up, and Zion is undersized. But if you look at Lonzo objectively, he's not making an impact big time on the court as far as yesterday's game. So it's hard to justify minutes. It's hard to justify not making a change if they just looking at the numbers of him going 2 for 8 with 6 assists. You know what I mean? And that's unfair. I'm not saying it's fair, but this is how the narrative goes. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, but I can't stay on any longer, brothers. It's been real chopping it up with y'all, man. Let's just hope for the best. Like I said, I'm pulling for him to be on the Clippers. I'm pulling for him to put up certain numbers until then. And I wish the best for the brother, man. Peace to y'all, brothers, and appreciate y'all for letting me rock with y'all today.
Yo,